Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about the difference between healing and activating. And I don't really know where I'm going with this one, but let's see what happens. So I've been on this journey now for like 10 years, and at the very start, it was very much like a healing journey. It was like understanding the different parts in me that were traumatized and needed help getting out of those trauma memories so that I could bring a sense of stability to my life. But that healing came about because I was trying to activate. And this is where I think it gets quite messy, because at the time, that is when I really wanted to launch a coaching business. I'd got a download that said I was here to help people. I listened to my downloads, so I took that action. I took action on it. I started looking at how I was going to start helping people, and that's what led me on this path. But what got thrown up in trying to activate that potential that I had been told I was here to do, I came across all of the trauma and all of the narratives that said that I wasn't good enough and that I couldn't stay regulated and grounded to deliver the promise that I had made. So what was happening was I was trying to realize the goal, and then there was fragmented parts of me that were not aligned to that goal, and they were disrupting that from being realized. So you can see how that is quite messy, because I was working with a coach at that time who said he was all into like law of attraction and, you know, doing big vision boards and calling it in and writing out, you know, a script of what you want so that it can materialize. And I'm sure all of that work really, really helped. But what I needed at that time was not a vision board, let's put it that way. It was to get deep into the somatic experience that my body, emotions and parts were feeling, that was making the actual goal itself feel so chaotic and wild and unachievable. Because if I'd had that, well, that's eventually what I ended up finding and doing, and that's what helped me actually get to the next rung of the ladder. But at the time, that's not what I knew I needed. So if you've worked with a coach before and you feel like it didn't get you the results you wanted, maybe you just need to work with a different coach. Don't feel so disheartened that it didn't work out with that coach, because what I've learned from the coaching industry, there are so many different types of coaching and styles and things it will do for you that you really do need to go around, do your research and find out like exactly what it is they offer and if that's the right thing for you. So like being able to hold space for the traumatized parts and help them feel safe in the goal that I was working towards is what then allowed me to start building a vision board that I felt like I could actually activate and create and realize. But with all those parts being so chaotic and fragmented and reactive, there was just no stability in my day-to-day life to actually deliver anything. So it didn't matter what I was visualizing, I had no sense of clarity over how it was ever going to manifest. And I couldn't even really tap into my intuition, because every time I had an idea or a thought as to like, this is what I should be doing next, like that could have just been like a part that was like throwing in like an idea, but it wasn't actually coming from like heart center. It could have actually been coming from fear. So that's why with this work, you really do need to try and figure out inside like where you're at on your journey, and it might not always be clear. So if you can work with someone like a coach who can do some of that like deeper internalized work with the subconscious mind, with the shadow, with the somatic experiences and the emotions that are coming up for you, and also help you with realizing like what is it you really want, what are you here to do, how are you here to do it. When you can get that balance right with someone, it's just really magical, because it just really does accelerate the progress that you can make in achieving your goals and achieving your desires in this lifetime, and understanding what is truly your desire versus an ego story telling you that's what your desire should look like because that's what's going to feel safe working towards, because it's known, it's acceptable, it's not taboo, it's not, as an example for myself, my goals have always been very vanilla, and I'm starting to realize that maybe that's not my path. Maybe with all like the 8th house stuff going on in my natal chart, something more taboo is on the horizon. And I'm actually getting really excited thinking about that. And you can see the smile on my face. It lights me up. And that's a sign I'm on the right path. But when I think about, just business coaching, like, it doesn't light me up. I love working with clients in that capacity. Like, if that's their goal, but it's not the way that I want to help them, like the actual like mechanism that I want to use to help them get to the goal isn't necessarily just like creating a strategy and working towards a strategy and like saying I want to make 10k months. Like, that bit of it to me feels really dry. But saying like, I want to help someone like unlock their sacral energy and to be able to use that energy and channel it into their goal, into their desires, that lights me up. So you can see it's like the same arena. We're talking about business coaching, but we're coming at it from two very different angles, and that's totally fine. Some people need the strategy piece. I'm not dissing the coaches that offer that, but it was like, that's what I needed to realize in myself. It's like, well, what type of a coach am I, and how do I really want to help people? And it wasn't what it looked like 3 years ago, because I've been on this own journey of personal transformation, activation and healing, that has led me to know more about myself and realize more about myself, and it's still unfolding. But knowing that I have the two toolkits now: one, healing the past, working with the parts that feel distressed over a change in our lifestyle, and also working with the activation and the pure potential and the unlimited essence of source energy, and tapping into that and knowing how to tap into that and channel it and define and design goals and desires around that. It's just so liberating, because set the goal, check in, does it feel good? Yeah, it feels good. Great. Okay, what resistance is coming up towards that? Okay, here's the resistance. Work to integrate that, and then just make massive momentum. It just feels like everything just keeps going and going and going with these two toolboxes. And so that's why I think, like, is it healing work or is it activation work? Actually, I think it's a blend of the two. And when you can find that balance between activating and healing, then you are just a powerhouse. Like, nothing can stop you. So how's that sit with you? Like, what's been your own experiences working with coaches in realizing your goals? What's worked? What hasn't worked? Has what I said here connected? Does that feel right? Because I don't think we can separate what happened in our past and how we've been configured and how the ego and shadow is interplaying. I don't think we can separate that from what we want to achieve in this lifetime. Even if we're writing a physical plan, like in the material world, we still need to understand what those deeper aspects are at play that are potentially holding us back from really going after that. So thank you for being here. I love you. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you again really, really soon.